Hi everyone, welcome to Behind the Desk at CFK. Today we have for you Coach Greg and we're going to be running over some hand care tips. Okay, so first thing we're going to do is Greg's going to break down a few different products that he likes to use for hand care, essentially why you need them, when you need to use them, and where you can get them from. So, over to Greg.
Cool. Right, so for me, the most important thing about hand care is keeping your calluses shaved down. Calluses happen at the bottom of your fingers, tough, rough bits of skin from lots of pulling movements. Happens over time, the skin becomes really tough and inflexible, and then inevitably it'll tear off, and that's kind of a really common injury that we see. So for me, how do I keep my calluses shaved down? Well, I use something like this. This is a tool called a Calicure. You get it from calicure.com. It's essentially a plastic tube with sandpaper all the way around. You can use it wet or dry in the shower every day. Just give it a rub over your calluses and it keeps them nice and shaved down. Something like that's really good, designed specifically for CrossFitters, but something like this that you get at Body Care, B&M, Boots would do just the exact same job. Just a foot file or a hand file. Or for kind of loose bits of skin, a little pumice stone like this, again just rub it over your hands and take the loose pieces of skin off. That's kind of a really important thing to do daily for me. I make sure that my calluses are shaved right down, because there's nothing worse than ripping a callus off in the middle of a workout, puts you out for a week, 2 weeks as it heals, and it's really, really irritating.
Would you say there's a point where you can go like too far, like make your calluses too soft?
Yeah, you can. Certainly you want to, calluses are inevitable, especially in CrossFit. Take them down too far, skin becomes sensitive underneath, doesn't heal, you can end up like a cracked or an open sore, which is painful as well. But you want to keep them nice and low so that the skin's soft and has a chance to kind of be flexible when you're on the bar.
So basically just like kind of like a thin, kind of hard layer, but no kind of bumpy rough bits is what we're looking for. Okay, cool. What you got next for us?
So, creams. So things like this Pawpaw ointment, it's kind of like a hand cream, or something specifically like Wad Welder, again developed for CrossFitters. Essentially it's a hand moisturiser. Use it daily after you've shaved your calluses down or after you've washed your hands after a workout. Keeps them nice and soft. Lots of kind of honey, wax and honey and bees oil and stuff in there. Keeps your skin nice and soft and flexible. Stops you from tearing. Daily, any kind of hand cream will do though. Anything from like Body Care or something, that's fine.
Yeah, I'm a big fan of just the Nivea hand moisturising cream. Really easy to pick up. Ooh, fancy.
I like the fancy smells.
Yeah, the fancy smells.
Nice.
But yeah, anything like that, guys. Again, keeping your hands nice and moisturised, especially I find in winter. That's when I'll tend to find like my calluses tend to crack and rip a little bit more often. Or even just in between my hands, like just gripping and stuff to make it a little bit more comfortable. I like a kind of nice Nivea sensitive hand cream.
Keep them clean as well, because obviously like, the bars kind of grab dirt on the knurling and stuff. And keep your hands clean and moisturised, it really helps.
Cool. And next piece.
Yeah, lastly, things like grips can really help, gymnastic grips. It's a kind of, I think of them like supplements. I don't really like wearing grips or belts or anything like that. For me, it's an additional tool that you can use to try and prevent calluses to give a bit more grip and keep your hands in good condition. But for me, you shouldn't really rely on them. You should make sure your hands are kind of in good condition anyway.
Cool. And is there a particular point when you think, actually, I am going to wear them, like certain workouts, whether it's like high volume?
Yeah, I would say like high volume. For me, if it's going to be something like multiple bar muscle ups or multiple kind of chest to bar pull-ups, things where you're repeatedly rotating and pulling on the bar, then yeah, grips are great. It'll help protect against kind of rips and things like that.
And like you're saying, guys, with the grips, you can get different variations.
These other brands are available.
Yes, Rail and Pixel. If you do have a question about them, I would definitely come and speak to one of the coaches. We've probably tried and tested most of them. 3-finger, 2-finger, again, it'll be a personal preference thing. So definitely something that you want to think about, maybe looking into, again, if you're trying to push the amount of volume that you're doing in workouts. Cool, so anything to add on that?
No, not really. Just to sum it up, keep your calluses shaved down, either with a shaver or like a sanding tool. Make sure your hands are clean. Wash your hands after your workouts, and make sure they're moisturised, especially in the winter, with a kind of good hand cream.
Yeah.
And invest in a set of grips if you've got the money and you think it could benefit.
Yeah. Sounds good. So, okay guys, so just quick tips on how to take care of your hands for CrossFit. We hope you enjoyed this first episode of Behind the Desk here at CFK, and we'll be bringing you lots more in the future.